Hey guys, this is Jerome here again with another video, and of course, as I promised, this is the part 2 of the last video I did about how to set up your iPhone for practicing programming, and this is the Android phone edition of the video. So almost everything is going to be the same except that this is a different operating system. This is not the iOS on the iPhone, this is Android, and we're going to be using a different app instead of the RSA Shell app that was installed on the iPhone. For the Android phone, I'm going to use an app called Termux, but it's just few things that are going to be different, especially the command for installing packages. Other than that, all the other commands for doing other things are going to be the same, whether you are using the RSA Shell on your iPhone or the Termux app on your Android phone, because they are all Linux emulator. Don't be confused by the screen you're looking at right now, because this is not the Termux app. I'm going to show you how to install it from scratch. This is just a launcher that I use because I just love typing in commands instead of using graphical user interface, because I like to feel like I have control over the computer by giving it commands of what I want it to do. And this launcher also allows me to use some common Linux commands as well. For instance, I can type the whoami command and I'll see whoami. If I type pwd, I'll see my present working directory. If I ls, I'll see all the folders on my phone in the present working directory, and I can change directory to any of the folder like the DCIM folder. And in this folder, I have other subfolders. So I'm going to go to the camera folder, and when I ls, now you can see all the images and video files that are in this camera folder. I can even open any one of them by specifying the name of the particular one that I want to open. I can also run other applications directly from this launcher. For example, I can run the Messages app. I can run the Chrome browser. I can call a phone number or a phone contact name that is saved in my phone. So when I type call 124, it's going to make the call. And when I type call mom, it's going to call the contact name mom from my phone contacts. I can even call *124#. Oops, you just saw my account balance and it's 0. Maybe you can send me credit if you have. I can see my phone number by typing call *266#. So this is my phone number in case you want to credit my account, and thank you in advance. Alright, this tutorial is not really about this launcher, but I'm going to show you how to install it and customize it to your own liking at the end of the video. Now let's install the Termux app. So you can open your Google Play Store and search for Termux. And this is the Termux app developed by Frederick Fornwald. You see it has a lot of good reviews and ratings, so you could install it from here, but I'm not going to install it from the Play Store, and I'll show you why soon. So I'll go back and use the browser and search for Termux GitHub. I'm running the search command from a launcher terminal, but you can use any browser you have on your phone and just Google search Termux GitHub. I use the DuckDuckGo search engine, but at your end you might be using the Google search engine, but it doesn't matter. All you need to do is to search for Termux GitHub and click on the first GitHub link with the title Termux GitHub. Now you are on the GitHub Termux page. Scroll down a bit to the Pin Post section and you'll see Termux app. Then click on it. In this README file for the Termux app, scroll down to the installation section. And you see the notice here, it says, it is highly recommended that you update to this version or higher as soon as possible for various bug fixes, including a critical world-readable vulnerability reported at this link. And here's the reason why I didn't install the Play Store version. It says also reminding again to users who have installed Termux app from Google Play Store that Play Store builds are deprecated and no longer supported. It is recommended that you shift to FDroid or GitHub releases. So I'm just following what the developer of the app recommends. If you decide to go with the FDroid version of the app, here's the link to follow. And this is the page where you can download the FDroid APK version of Termux. This blue download button is for downloading the FDroid app and not the Termux APK file. But right below it, you'll see the version of Termux, and when you scroll down a bit, you'll also see the download APK link for downloading this version of Termux. There's another lower version, and here's the download link. So you will first want to go with the latest version, but if the latest version is not compatible with your phone, then you will have to try other lower version until you get the latest compatible version for your phone. So I'm going to go back and also show you the GitHub releases. Under the GitHub section, I'm going to click on GitHub releases. And this is the current latest version with different download options. Now to download the APK file, I'll just click on this link and I'm going to get a pop-up to confirm the download. But I've already downloaded this, so I'm not going to download again. So I'll just cancel. You might see the message that this file might be harmful since you're not downloading it from the Google Play Store, but just ignore it and continue the download. So after downloading and installing Termux on your phone, go ahead and open it. During the first launch, it's going to take a few seconds to install some things for startup. And now you have the Termux app open and ready to be used. It's always going to start off with this welcome text and some instructions, but there's a way you can disable this if you don't want these texts at startup, or you can customize the text to display whatever you want your welcome text to be. But it's better to leave it like this if you're just starting to use Termux, so you will get reminded by these instructions of some things you will forget. Like you see the instruction for installing a package is pkg install and the package name. This is different from the command for installing a package using the RSA shell on an iPhone. So I'm going to clear the screen, and now I'm going to try some basic Linux commands to test if this is truly a Linux terminal. When I type the command uname, I'm going to get the system name Linux, and when I type uname-a, I'll see all the details from the uname command as well. If I type the whoami command, I'm going to see my account username. I can also check this by typing ID with the flag UN. If I type just ID, I'll get even more details about the user account. If I type PWD, I'm going to see my present working directory, and it says that I'm in the home directory. I can ls to list the contents in this directory, but I currently have nothing. So let me try ls-a to list all the contents, including the hidden ones, and I still got nothing. That means there is currently no file or folder in this home directory. I can type cd with 2 dots to change directory one step backward, and when I ls, I see that I have the home and USR or user folders as subfolders in the files folder or directory. When I change directory to USR and ls, I see other subfolders as well that are in the user folder. So I'll just go back to the home folder. And here I'm going to make a directory called folder. When I ls, I see the folder was created. Now I will change directory to the folder and then create an empty file named file. When I ls, I see the file is created in the folder. So I'm going to echo some text into the file. And when I preview the file with the cat command, I now see the text were written to the file successfully. I can echo another line of text to the same file without overwriting the current text by using two greater than signs before the file name. And when I cut the file again, I'll still see the first line of text and the new line that was added. So I will delete the file by typing rm for remove and the file name. And I'll change directory to the home folder where the folder directory is created, and also remove it by typing rm -r and the folder name. So I was just testing some basic Linux command and they all worked. Now let's try installing our package. From the instruction on the welcome screen, I need to type pkg install and the package name, which is Python 3. And there's an error, but it shows a possible cause that the repository is under maintenance or down. So I'll try to get it from another repository by using apt-get install Python 3. And this is going to work by downloading 82.7 megabyte of archives. And it's asking, do you want to continue? So I'll type Y for yes. And it's going to go ahead to download and install Python. Okay, so Python is now successfully installed. To run the Python shell anytime, you just need to type the name Python 3. And I'll try print hello guys. And you see the program printed out hello guys. I will also try basic calculations like 2 plus 7 and I get the answer 9, and I can save the numbers into variables instead by typing num1 equals 2, num2 equals 7, and now num1 plus num2 will give me the same 9. Num1 minus num2 is minus 5. Num2 minus num1 is 5. Num1 times num2 is 14. And num2 divided by num1 is 3.5. So the Python shell is working as well. I'll quit and install an editor for typing a script, because most time you will want to write an entire program as a script before execution. So I'll install the Nano editor by typing the command pkg install nano. Let me just install another one called vim with pkg install vim. Yes. Now I have Nano and Vim editor. I can use any one of them. I'll open Nano so I can show you how to write and save your files. You can write and save any file with this editor. You just need to save it with the appropriate file extension. So after writing the text, which could even be a code in any programming language, to save the file, Let me first of all show the keyboard by sliding from the left so you can see the keys I'll be referring to in case you are using your phone soft keypad. As you can see the instruction at the bottom of the editor, to write out the text to the file after typing, you need to press the Control key and 0. Then you will get a prompt to enter the file name in case you started an empty file without name, or you can edit or confirm the name in case the file already has a name. And you do that by just pressing the Enter key. Then you will see how many lines were written, and you can now exit by pressing Control and X. Now when I ls, I'll see the file called name of the file because that's how I save it. And when I cut the file name, I can see the content of the file. So let me delete or remove the file so I can try to write a sample Python script. I don't even know what I want to write, but let's try to do something like the mobile money menu. So I will go home and call *144# to get the orange money menu. And let's try to do something like this, where you will have a prompt with different options. And when you reply with an option number, you will get a different menu for the option that you choose. I'm not going to be doing it exactly as it is with all the sub menus and menu items because it's a lot of work and even more advanced coding that needs to be done. And I'll just be doing this as an example and not a real program. So I will use Nano and create a new Python file with the name om.py. I'll do this fast because I'm not going to be explaining everything I'm doing in details, since this video is not about teaching you Python programming, but how you can use it inside of Termux. So the program is going to start by printing out the first or main menu, showing the options with their select numbers. And it will also have an input field for the user to enter and submit their choice from the menu options. Alright, at this point I want to save and test the program, and I'll come back to add other things. You remember it's Ctrl O to write the lines, Enter to confirm the file name, then Ctrl and X to exit. Now to run the script as a program, I'll type Python 3 and the name of the script. So you see the main menu items and also the reply area where you can type and submit your option number. You can select option 1, option 2, option 3, or option 4. But it's not going to do anything now because I didn't add a logic or condition of what should happen if the user enters any number from the options. Now I will go back to continue the coding and add the if statement. Let me hide the keyboard now since you already know the keys to use. I will go ahead and type the if statement by saying if the reply is equal to the string of 1, print. This is the USD menu, just so I can avoid typing all the menu items. If the reply is equal to the string of 2, print. This is the LRD menu. If reply is equal to the string of 3, print. This is the my status menu. If reply is equal to the string of 4, print. This is the new tariff menu. And I just realized that I misspelled tariff up here. After all the if and elifs that the user enter any of these numbers, the program should print out their respective menu, else print invalid input, try again if the user enters a different number or character that is not in the options. So I will now save and test the program again. From the main menu, if I reply 1, I will get the USD menu. If I reply 2, I will get the LRD menu. If I reply 3, I will get the my status menu. If I reply 4, I will get the new tariff menu. else I'll get the message, invalid input, try again if I enter a different number or character. So that's just an example. Now let's write another program, this time around with the Vim editor. I'll open Vim with the file name hello.py. Let me bring out the keyboard again so I can show you the command keys for Vim. To start adding text to the file in Vim, you have to be in the insert mode by typing the letter I key on the keyboard. Now Vim is in insert mode. I'm going to write a simple program that will ask the user for their name and greet the user by the name provided. I will create a variable called name that will take an input from the user with the prompt, "What is your name?" and another variable called greeting that will store the concatenation of the word hello and the user's input stored in the name variable. Then finally, I want the program to print out the greeting. To save this file with the Vim editor, you need to go back to the command mode by pressing the ESC or escape key, and while in the command mode, type :WQ to write the text and quit. If you just want to quit without saving the changes, you will just type and Q to quit. But I'm going to save and quit with WQ and enter. Now when I cut the file hello.py, I can see the code for this Python program. And to run it as a program, I'm going to type Python3 and the program name hello.py. So it's asking what is your name, and I'll type my name, and it printed hello Jerome. So I'll run the program again and type a different name, Conan Doe, and it says hello Conan Doe. So you see, you can practice Python programming right on your phone using Termux. This Termux app is like a virtual Linux computer, so you can install other programming packages as well and do same things that you can do on a Linux computer. Of course, there will be some limitations since you are using a mobile phone, especially when the phone is not rooted, but you can still do a lot like you are using a real Linux computer. If you want to practice web programming, you can use a simple Python web server that is already installed with it to view your web page or website in the browser. You can start the web server anytime with the command python3 -m http.server. So it's going to start the web server on the default port 8000, but you can change the port number by specifying it in the command after server. This is the address you can go to in the browser. So when I go home and open my Chrome browser and go to this address, which is another way of typing the same one that you saw, I'm going to see all the contents in my home directory from the browser. This means I can save my website folder or files in the same directory and I can view them in the browser. Now let's test this out by creating a simple index.html file. And again, I won't explain in detail what I'm typing since it's not the purpose of the video, so I'll just hurriedly do it and start the web server. Now the server is running. I'm going to go back to the browser, then refresh the page. And you can see the content that I typed in the index.html file being displayed as a web page. You are seeing this page first because by default, all the browsers see the index.html page as the home page among other pages or contents that are in the folder. You will have to create links to other pages from the home page, but that's for your web programming. So I'll go back and press Ctrl C to stop the web server. Let me cut index.html so you can see the HTML code again that displayed the page you saw in the browser. I'm going to delete all these files now since I no longer need them. I combine all of them in one command, and I could have done the same with just rm and asterisk or star to remove everything. But this command would have deleted other hidden files that I don't want to delete as well. So be careful how you use it because there's no recycle bin here. And that's it. You have your Android Linux computer. So go ahead and install other programming packages that you will need to use. Like for Apache, it's pkg install Apache 2. You can play with other stuff like showing the calendar. And when you enter the command car --help, you can see the help menu for the different ways you can show the calendar. You see, without any argument like I did, it's just going to show the current month. But you can show a yearly calendar as well. So I will exit now, and this is a bonus on the launcher since I promised you this at the beginning of the video. You can get the launcher from the Play Store by searching for TUR Launcher. And this is the actual name in the Play Store, and it's also another way you can search for it. The developer is Francesco Andreuzzi, and shout out to him. It's a free app, no ads. You can check his contact details. And I'm going to rate it 5 stars and leave a review. That's my review of the app. You can go ahead and install it if you want to. This is Francesco's contact. And let me show you some other users' reviews. So I recommend it because I'm using it, except that I customize it to my own liking because the developer allows that. So when you first install it, by default, it will have a lot of text on the screen, but of course useful information and status about your phone. But for me, I had all of them. These launcher files were coded in XML, so you can edit them easily with an XML editor. This is the UI file, and you can change any of the values. For example, I removed the import prefix, but I can change the value to anything like rock@android. And when I save any changes, I need to restart the launcher before the change or changes will take effect. So you see I have the import prefix like a command prompt with rock@android. Well, I'm going to remove it because I just want my phone screen to be blank. Since I know what command to enter to get any information or status about my phone. I'll do it this time around with the config command instead of the XML editor. I just need to know the exact name of the option that I want to change, and I'm already familiar with most of them. So I'll enter the command config, set import prefix to nothing. Oops, I didn't type config, so I'll do it again. config, set import prefix to nothing. And when I restart, there is no import prefix. You also have other files that you can edit, like the suggestions.xml, and I have it off, but I can change the value to true to show suggestions when typing commands. So when I save and restart, I will now get suggestions when I'm typing in commands. It's good to show the suggestions to even help you learn the different commands. because you will just be touching buttons that will complete the command. The color is messed up because I changed the default value and I don't even use the suggestions, so it's no big deal. You have the theme.xml file also, where you can customize most of the color options. Without even using an editor, you can also check the current values of the different options with the config command, info, and for example, import color. And this is the information about the import text color. And I can change it to something else like green. You can spell out the color or use the hex code for the color. And now when I restart, you see I have turned the import text color to green. So go ahead and enjoy the launcher if you want to use it. I will now restore all the settings to my personal preference. This is how I love mine to be. When I want to type a command, I know what to type and I don't need suggestions. If someone holds my phone, they will just be confused if they don't know what to type in. The back, home, and recent app buttons you see are not on my phone screen. It's in the Visor program that I'm using to mirror and control my phone screen on the computer. So the whole phone screen will be blank because I also had the status bar with the network, battery status, and all of that. And to make it worse, I can also make the cursor at the prompt black like the entire screen. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. And sorry for releasing this one late because I was busy with other stuff. And you know, doing tutorials required time, especially the editing part. And I didn't have the time to edit sooner, even though I did the screen recording ever since, as you could tell from the date in the launcher comments. I'm gonna do more videos whenever I have the time, so keep watching out.